Hey Health 425ers, my name is Clayn, and today I will be discussing the large presence of vaccine hesitancy with the American Orthodox Jewish population. My interest in this subject is surprisingly not related to the current plague ravaging the land, and is instead focused upon the U.S. measles outbreak back in 2019. Normally, measles would not be a large concern for U.S. citizens, as the CDC reports an over 92% vaccination rates for the vulnerable ages of under 2 and between 13 and 17. However, despite that, in 2019, a measles outbreak of over 1,200 cases in 31 different states grew within the United States. What was interesting about this outbreak, however, was that over 75% of the cases came from two ultra Orthodox Jewish communities in New York: Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and Rockland County. The source of this outbreak is believed to have stemmed from Israel, in which unvaccinated travelers returning from abroad exposed these New York communities and allowed cases to develop within the highly susceptible religious school systems. That these schools would waive vaccine requirements for religious reasons, which is what made them susceptible. In response to the outbreak, the New York Public Health Department had to bar over 6,000 students from attending classes until they were vaccinated. For others, they had to threaten fines or even have individuals denied access to public spaces for up to 30 days or until they had their MMR vaccine. And the question remains, why is the Jewish population so hesitant or resistant to getting vaccinated? And there are a few theories. It would appear that while religious doctrine is fairly minor in influencing the population to avoid vaccination, the opinions of the religious leaders, or rabbis, holds greater influence over their congregations. Aside from varying rabbinic opinion, which is more pro towards vaccination, with some being anti-vax, it would appear that for the ultra-Orthodox Jewish community, being outside of mainstream culture, having low technological exposure and experience, while also staying within their tightly knit communities, serves as the main reservoirs for misinformation to spread. Well, as an example, most Orthodox Jews, they go to school together, they worship together, they live and travel together, and they stay within these neighborhoods, meaning that a few unvaccinated individuals, well, sort of a risk for diseases such as measles or smallpox, are also a source of misinformation as it can just spread. Just a few individuals is all it takes for the large community to have that misinformation present and be within their minds. However, despite these challenges and shortcomings that we see within this Jewish community from the measles 2019 outbreak, lessons were learned then that, hey, these people aren't technologically apt. We need to find a new way to give them information. So for the COVID outbreak, they decided that poster campaigns that maybe a little less good, but that could cover up misinformation and conspiracy theories, would be more apt at reaching audiences than, say, a news show or a television program. Additionally, they found that most Orthodox Jews got their information from telephone hotlines, and they also tried to shut down ones that spread misinformation. They were able to collaborate with rabbinic leadership in order to reach congregations and spread information through points of respect and trust. With these lessons that were learned, it shows that while there is a health disparity or vulnerability within a population, they can be addressed if you look at the population as a whole and address it as such.